Good morning, children. I hope you all have understood and learned and revised all the figures of speech that I have taught you all, which you all are supposed to learn in the 7th. Many of them are quite easy. In fact, I've taken the easy ones for you all in the 7th. If you all have really learnt it and revised it, you all will be able to do the exercise that I'm giving you all for today. This is your homework for today. Now I will just explain a few in the sense I will tell you the meanings of some words which you all may not know. So when you know the meanings, it becomes a little easy for you all to do your exercise. Okay. Now name and explain the figures of speech. So here you have to write the question like the first one. Oh rain, why does thou pour so heavily? Under that you will write answer, ANS, and then you will write like say the first, supposing the first one is say simile. Okay, supposing it's not a simile, I'm just giving you an example. Supposing the first one is a simile, so you write there simile, and under that you will write the explanation that there is a direct comparison between two things of different kinds. Now sometimes there may be more than one figure of speech in a sentence. So that will be the first one. Simile will be A. The second one maybe it's a sound. So you can say B as onomatopoeia. Sound is reflected in the sentence. Clear? So they could be even more than two. So then you will say C and personification or whatever it is. Okay. So you will first, after, don't just write one figure of speech and then you're happy you got one. Try to see if there are more in that. Okay, so you can write your answer like A simile and the explanation, B a metaphor and the explanation, or whatever. Clear? And then you will leave a line and then write the next one, that like say the second one is we spoke of the right and the wrong deeds that they had done. So after you finish all your answers that you think there are no more figures of speech in that, then only you will leave two lines. Don't leave just one line, leave two lines, and then write your second question. The same way you will answer your second question as I told you, as I explained, you will answer your first one. Clear? Now the reason I'm telling you to leave two lines is because when I give you all your answer, and in case there is one more figure of speech and you have left it out, you can easily write it over there. Clear? Now sometimes maybe you know that it is a simile but you don't know how to write the explanation. You know it is an onomatopoeia. Then you can leave some space like say a line or two to write the explanation. And if you are not very sure, you can write it in pencil. I would tell you all, if you really have the time, you can write it in your rough book, because I will be checking your answers next week. So that time you can cross check whether you have been able to write all the answers correctly, and then you can write it in your fair book, so that that is your grammar notebook, so that it looks fair, it looks neat. Okay, now let's go to the first one. It's quite easy. Oh rain, why does thou pour so heavily? Now thou means you. Okay, thou means you. Second one, we spoke of the right and the wrong deeds. Deeds means actions, something that one does. Okay, so it's action that they had done. Third, as supple as a cat. Now what is supple? Very flexible. I don't know whether you all have observed a cat can, even if there's a tiny little hole, it can just squeeze itself and go through. Yes, it can twist and bend, especially when it's playing with a ball of wool or some thread. It twists itself and turns and plays with that ball of wool. The fourth one, they shouted with joy, they screamed with ecstasy. Now, ecstasy means extreme joy. Ecstasy means extreme joy. It is a time where maybe you are very happy. Yes, you're just happy, you're very happy, you're extremely happy. So that extremely happy is ecstasy. They're so happy that they screamed. Yes. The fifth one, The snake lay beneath the stone under the tree. This is quite easy. Round and round the tree we play. This is also very, very easy. Seventh one, he owns an island, a private jet, a villa, several cars and 4 dogs. Now what's a villa? A private jet means an aeroplane, and a villa is a, you can say, a bungalow. Yes, it may be a little bigger than a bungalow also. Yes, so a villa is something which is your own separate house, not in a building. Okay. The eighth one, a butterfly danced above the colorful flowers. This is also easy. Ninth, the bell jingle jangled all the way. Now bell is, this is the sound, okay, that the bell makes. Jingle jangle. Others you'll wonder what is jingle jangle. All the world's a stage. A stage, where you watch your performance in school. Whenever you have a program, you have your elocution competition. Everyone climbs up onto the stage and does their performance. Okay. The 11th one, her eyes are fireflies. What are fireflies? Jugnu, what do you call in Hindi? Jugnu. Yes, those are fireflies. So, he's describing her eyes to as being looking like fireflies. Okay, the last one, his cotton candy words did not appeal to her. What is cotton candy? Candy floss. The pink that you all eat, the pink, and they make it out of sugar, and it's like small thread or soft wool in soft, and you eat it. It's sweet, it's pink, and that pink is actually the color that they add in it. So his cotton candy words. Now if you look at cotton candy, and that's the candy floss, it's not it just looks so big and so huge once they make it, correct? But the moment you bite into it, there's really nothing much in it to eat, and if it gets a little moist or wet, it'll just collapse and become hard, or you get absolutely nothing in it, correct? So in the same way, when you're talking of cotton candy words, you're talking of words which are hollow. You're just what you say as flattering somebody. Or in Hindi you may also say चने के झाड़ पे चढ़ाना, like where you are बड़ा चढ़ा के किसी को बड़ा चढ़ा रहे हो आप ऊपर, जबकि वो actually उस पे वो qualities है नहीं. Okay, so that's what you're talking when you're saying cotton candy words, when you're talking of words which are not really true. You are just trying to create an impression on that person, whether the person is intelligent or no, pretty or no, but you will call him as the most intelligent person, the most smartest person, and the most beautiful person. Then those words are called as cotton candy words. Okay. Okay, did not appeal. Appeal means she did not like it. Okay, it did not go down well with her. She did not like it at all, because she realized that you are trying to butter her up. What do you say in maska lagana? Okay, in Hindi. So this 12 sentences, I have explained the meaning of each one. So sometimes there may be more than one. Please remember that, and remember to learn your spellings. And remember how I told you all to write it. If possible, do write it in your rough book and then in this. If you don't want to do double work, but remember, when you finish writing, you have to leave some space over there, so that in case there are any extra answers, when I check your answers, you can write it down over there. Okay, I'm sure all of you have studied well, and you all will be able to answer everything. Yes, because you all are all very smart children, right? So I want you all to prove to me that you are smart by getting all the answers correct, at least most of them. So best of luck in doing your homework, and when I give you all your answers, or when I'm checking your answers, see that you all also check and correct your answers wherever you have made a mistake. Okay. Thank you.